to start out giving all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Akadash, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, shalom to Yakim in the faith, doing work in truth and sincerity. As you see right here, it says the lack of money is now causing a lot of anxiety slash depression and slash anger. This automatically, brings me to Matthew 24. Because iniquity shall abound, meaning sin upon sin. The Lord is judging Babylon the Great. So financially, this place, like the scriptures speak about, how, bear with me, we're gonna let this video play, but about the depths of Babylon the Great. But it's all falling on people, and people are now seeing the ripple effects. People thought like just because there's no work, that means you get to kick your feet up, and because there's no other things, there's gonna be a positive. No, there's gonna be actual double down negative effects. Yeah, no work meaning you're gonna have no way to provide for yourself, and you're gonna have to depend on Esau, Edom, and take this damn job.
I feel like the lack of money that people have now is really just starting to compound anxiety, depression, anger. They're short fuse. People are just getting...
They're short fuse. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's what short... That's literally a synonym. Waxing cold. Lack of sympathy. Cold shoulder. Quick to blow it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got these crash outs. That's why you got these terms called YNs. Yeah, because people are making impulsive reactions. They're deciding on whatever comes first in mind. They're not thinking about what's next, because if they think something thoroughly and think it out, they have to go back to their normal lives, which is shitty, and they have to be back responsible. People are trying to avoid that at all costs, man. Baby daddies out here crashing out on their baby mama so they can avoid, being a father out here. Yeah, that's reality for some people.
It's even worse to me this year than it was last year. But fuses are getting shorter. You see people that...
You see, that's that gradualism that, brothers talk about. I'm going to let the video play, though.
Kind of issue comes up, whether they're in a store, just anywhere. People are just automatically, they're getting the shakes. They're getting angrier, faster. People are not having the amount of patience they used to have. It really comes down to emotional intelligence, and people are not able to manage this anymore. And I'm starting to see people break. I see,
because Vic, he said he see people in the stores that are shaking this, that, and the third, right? And the scriptures speak about in the Apocrypha, because victuals shall be so good and cheap upon the earth, they shall think themselves to be in good case. And then, what the scriptures say? Let me grab that. Slacky, let me not do all that. Bear with me, Babu Shah. Themselves be in good case, and even then shall evils, meaning bad times, grow up on the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. That's that polycrisis term, man, with so many factors being in play that really the only result is, the best result is the lesser of the evil, like where we're heading to, something bad's gonna come out of it, one way or another,
people constantly all day, and it just seems like it's starting to just kind of compound. And I don't know where this is going to go. Bills are not getting cheaper. Nobody's getting paid more money. Matter of fact, companies out there are quietly reducing things like perks, benefits, bonuses. So in a way, you're actually making less money probably than you might have made in the last several years. And at the same time, everything just continues to go up. The aggregate numbers, I bet everything put together, you're probably almost double your expenses that you were before COVID, if you add up every single bill you have. I just don't know where this goes. People just people are not making eye contact with you out in public. Less and less people are smiling. People just seem on edge. They seem agitated. They're just in their own world. And it's like everybody's got their brain on a hyperactive thing, about stress, about money. And man, the lack of money is just gonna break people. Money doesn't buy happiness, but money buys your peace. It buys options. It buys your ability to survive and to enjoy the things around you. And if you ain't got no money, well, everything else around you crumbles. And
Khan, as a man, we understand what he's saying, but through the spirit, if you ain't got the Lord, you ain't got nothing with you. That's really your main defense. It says, the righteous run to him. He is a high tower, and they are safe. But scriptures speak about how money is a defense. Scriptures speak about how, a lazy man, a man who's laying up all day, he ain't gonna have no ways and means to feed himself. But the way America sets up the Americans is, to always be constantly, praising and looking at money and putting it on a pedestal. So now you're so dependent on it and like the government system that when things get shallow for you, you're gonna do anything by any ways means necessary to get to the bag, because they've now built that, that relationship of grab and pull, literally dangling berries in front of you, pretty much. So Khan, the scriptures speak about how there's going to be a lack of work to come, how men are going to be getting drafted. This is what all this is leading to. He said he's not sure what this leads to. This is leading towards Jacob's trouble. And throughout Jacob's trouble, the MOTB is going to be implemented. And from there on, we're just going to see this place be, bamboozled. But this is the beginning of the end. We're already in it. That's why the Lord's speeding up time, man. That's why things are happening at a quick rate. So with that, on to the next one. Shalom.